Simply family, just wanted to talk to you about the organisation CAP. It's an organisation that we sponsor or part of, or even, in fact, we actually started it way back many years ago when we were Mars Hill Church. We started the first CAP centre in Teignmouth. Not the first ever CAP centre, there's CAP centres all around the country, but the first one down this way in Teignmouth. And I just want to mention it, if you've not heard of it, CAP is Christians Against Poverty. They're a Bradford-based charity that helps to get people out of debt, and they work with putting payment plans together so that those debts can be paid off as quickly as possible. But it's a great charity that also has lots of other arms to it that help support, such as debt management or money management, as well as helping people maybe working through addictions or troubles. And so the heart of it, though, is not just, and this is why we support him, why we started, the heart of it is not just about relieving social pressures or issues or just relieving debt. The heart of it is the gospel of Jesus, that people will be set free from the debt of sin. So part of that meeting with people is to pray with them, is to share Jesus with them, is to I guess hope that through the work of the Spirit and the people that are there, that people will come through to faith. And when I say hope, I mean like this kind of belief that God through the gospel will transform and change people's lives. And so really I wanted to mention it because we've, as I said, we started it here as Mars Hill Church in Teignmouth, and we fed into various areas, Dawlish and Bishops and possibly even Newton, I think. And over the years it's grown, and over the years that it's now transformed from CAP Mars Hill Church to now CAP Teignbridge. And there's churches right across the area that are involved in it, giving to it, got people part of it. In fact, because we run the debt coach and all that kind of stuff, we no longer do that. Church in Dawlish now has the debt coach. I mean, it's still a Teignbridge wide affair. I'm still part of that management team and all of those kinds of things. And what we're finding at the moment, the reason why I wanted to put this video out, is that obviously in the current climate, there is more and more issues that people are facing that need help with. I believe currently there's about 14 people on the books that are being helped in this area. It doesn't sound a lot, but for one debt coach that only does a few hours a week, it's a huge amount of work. And there are people waiting. There's waiting lists for people to be able to come on. I think they're booked up well in advance. And the way it works is that you have this debt coach. He's trained. I said he's based in a church in Dawlish, and he does all of the initial contacts and gets all the information that gets sent to head office and goes back to sort out all the debt side of it. And what I love about CAP is, yes, all the administration's done centrally, it's very much about empowering the local church to bring the gospel. And so the way that's done is the debt coach does that kind of administrative work and stuff, but he brings along befrienders with him. And now these are people from local churches who are going to get alongside the people who help. And they might go for walks with them. They might just touch base with them over the phone. If additional needs like food parcels, etc., are needed, they might come back to the local church and say, "Hey, can we help them out?" Or, and most importantly, it's praying with them, sharing Jesus with them, inviting them along to be part of local church families, and praying that the gospel will transform them and bring them into repentance and saving faith in Jesus. So these befrienders roles are super important, and the reason why I wanted to make this video is that we really need more befrienders, people that can support this work. We as a church, as I said, we started this thing, but I guess our involvement, other than giving financially to it to support it, and my involvement in a more management level is very small now. We don't really have befrienders, but beforehand we provided befrienders, we provided the debt coach, all that kind of stuff. We don't really have that going on at the moment. So it's really a message to put out to us as I guess a plea as a church to say, look, please could you pray and think about whether you could become a befriender. This is such an amazing opportunity for the gospel and to reach out to people. If you've got a little bit of spare time, this doesn't take a huge amount of time, but a little bit of spare time, if you've got a heart for people, those that need, if you've got a heart for bringing Jesus to people, then it'd be really great to hear from you. Just get in contact with me or your home church leader and get it passed on to me. I believe hopefully in this video there'll be an attachment which will give a brief job description of a befriender. And really it is about coming alongside people and showing Jesus to them and speaking Jesus to them and praying with them, that they may come through into faith as well as get set free from the financial debt that they're in. And so it is, if you've just got a little bit of time that you can give to that, we would really, really love to hear from you. The only other thing that I want to mention on CAP is there's one other area that we're looking for people, and it's a little bit different. I think anyone could, with a bit of time, be a befriender, but this area is a little bit more specialized. It's a director of the company, and what and that sounds kind of, whoa, that sounds super big, but because it's not a charity, because it's now CAP Teignmouth, and it's supported and funded by a conglomerate of churches. It's like a CIC, community interest company, which means that rather than having trustees, which a charity has as a company, it has directors. And so directors really just means the same thing as trustees. So really we don't need many of them, just need a few of them. And really it's people that like to be more strategic, people that like to be more involved in planning and organizing and administrating. Really the directors, or what would be in a charity, the trustees, their role is to look at the financial side and the legal side of the business. Now, there's no real danger with being a director. They're fully indemnified. It's not like you're going to lose your money, your house, or go to prison. It's all indemnified. The only thing that time would ever go wrong is if somebody purposefully did something illegal, which really shouldn't and hopefully would never happen. And so there's no risk with it in that respect. But if you are somebody that likes to be more strategic in planning, looking at financial and legal things, then it would be great to hear from you. Other than that, like I said, I really want to particularly push the befrienders, people that are bringing the gospel to those around them. If that is you, really would love to hear from you. As I said, for CAP, for us, we don't, as a church, we tend to only sponsor or be part of organizations that bring the gospel, not just relieve social pressure, but actually bring the gospel of Jesus to people. That's why we do compassion. Again, compassion, we support the local church in those areas to bring the gospel to those children whilst also helping them in a practical way. It's why we help the guys over in Greece who work in anti-trafficking, because again, local church is working in helping those people to come out of that industry or to be saved from that sex trade industry. Again, same with CAP. It's local church reaching out to people with the gospel, the good news of Jesus. So please be prayerful about it. Please think about it. If you want to know anything more, come and ask us. Like I said, hopefully both those job descriptions will be in the email. Heard some amazing stories of people asking, of wanting to be prayed for, befrienders being able to pray for people wanting to come along and be part of local churches, people being saved through this work. It really is an incredible work. And when you hear the stories of people who literally can't switch on an iron because they don't have enough money for the electricity, or are going without food or not sure how they're going to make ends meet, but you're hearing people coming alongside them, not only helping them practically, but then them hearing about Jesus and wanting to follow him, you realize that this is something that God is using for his glory and for the good of those around us. So that's all I really want to say. It's a little bit longer than I hoped for, but if you do have any questions, you want to ask any more, please come back to us. Otherwise, stick your name down, email it to me, or put it through your home church leader, and it'd be great to get a few more people on board within this work. Have an amazing rest of your day and week, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.